With the release of the final shape, a brand new solar fusion rifle arrived with some great perks, potentially making it into a top tier weapon. Axial Lacuna is a precision frame fusion rifle with a charge time of 780. But is it truly one of the best fusion rifles in the game? Looking at just the solar fusion rifles alone, you have Royal Executioner, the Eremite, Iota Draconis, Cartesian Coordinate, Trinary System, the list goes on. But what sets this fusion rifle aside is the perk Controlled Burst, one of the best perks for fusion rifles currently in the game, giving you a 20% bonus damage and a 10% decreased charge time for 2 seconds after hitting every shot in a burst or by simply defeating an enemy. As of right now, in episode 1 of the final shape, it is only craftable on 3 other fusion rifles: Techian Force from the Last Wish raid, the Eremite from Season of the Witch, and Scatter Signal from Season of the Wish. All 3 of these fusions are top tier PvE weapons. If you don't have any of these 3 weapon patterns unlocked, this is a must craft fusion for a great all-round special ammo weapon. For Axial Lacuna, the best perk to pair with Controlled Burst in column 3 is definitely Reconstruction, which will passively overload your mag to double its capacity. When paired with Controlled Burst, this gives you a great weapon that can deal some great damage. Looking at some of the other perks in this column, we have Threat Detector, which gives you a nice boost to some of the stats when enemies are close by. When you are within 15 meters of 2 or more enemies, the bonus is plus 40 to stability, plus 60 to reload speed, and plus 100 to handling. Another notable perk here is Demolitionist. Demo gives you an increase to your grenade generation for every enemy you defeat. Normally it grants you 10%, but for fusion rifles this is increased to 20%, and on top of that, throwing your grenade will refill the mag. You can see in the background gameplay just how quickly my grenade energy is recharging, giving me multiple grenades in a short space of time. Cornered is also available, giving a 15% decreased charge time when within 15 meters of 2 or more enemies, and it will linger for 1.5 seconds after no longer being surrounded. In column 4, aside from Control Burst, you have some great Ad Clear related perks such as Incandescent, Frenzy, and Desperate Measures. Desperate Measures grants you a 30% damage increase compared to the 15% provided by Frenzy, but it does require a little more setup where you need 2 grenade or melee defeats to reach 3 stacks, whereas Frenzy gives a flat 15% damage bonus, only requiring you to be in combat for 12 seconds. These perks are great for Ad Clear if that's what you're looking for. Surrounded provides the highest damage bonus of 40%, but it requires 3 enemies to be within 15 meters of you. And lastly, there is Vorpal, a good perk for some boss DPS, but Controlled Burst does beat Vorpal in the damage category since it will only give you a 15% damage bonus to bosses. The upside to Vorpal is that it does require no setup. So what perks are best suited for this weapon in PvE? I think the strongest combination is definitely Reconstruction and Controlled Burst, and that is the exact combination that I have on mine. It's great for solo play if you do some harder content, and it definitely works really well when there is a modifier increasing fusion rifle or solar damage. Other strong options would be Reconstruction paired with Incandescent if you're really looking for something to deal with Ad Clear, and Threat Detector with Surrounded is also possible with the potential for the highest damage bonus. My preference will usually go towards Controlled Burst whenever it is available on fusion rifles in the current sandbox. Now don't get me wrong, the other perks available on this weapon are not bad, but I would really only recommend running something like Incandescent on this weapon if you are able to pair it well into your solo build. There is one other fusion rifle in the game that can be crafted with Reconstruction and Controlled Burst, and that is Techian Force, an arc fusion with a charge time of 560. The only downside to this one is that it is only available from the Last Wish raid, whereas Axial Lacuna you can get completely solo by simply doing Pale Heart activities. Even if you already have a crafted Techian Force, it still would be worth crafting this one to use when there is a solo surge active in a GM or Lost Sector. The Eremite and Royal Executioner are the only other craftable solar fusion rifles in the game right now. Eremite is a high impact fusion, so it does have a higher charge time of 960. It also rolls Controlled Burst, however this can have Envious Assassin in column 3, which will overflow your mag based on how many enemies you have defeated using other weapons. If you already have an Eremite crafted that you are comfortable with, it's not a necessity to craft this weapon. Eremite will out DPS Axial Lacuna since precision frames are not as great right now. If you do already have this one, it might be worth crafting something like Reconstruction or Threat Detector with Incandescent or Frenzy, just in case we get some artifact mods in the future that make this fusion rifle great for Ad Clear. But if you didn't own Season of the Witch or didn't unlock the crafting pattern, then Axial Lacuna is arguably the best solar fusion rifle in the game right now. For the barrel, I always lean towards Arrowhead Break just to assist with that recoil control, and for the battery, I like Enhanced Battery on fusion rifles just to give you that extra ammo without affecting your impact damage. Axial Lacuna requires 5 red borders in order to unlock the crafting pattern, which can be obtained from focusing engrams at Ghost with a guaranteed 1 weekly, or from doing the Pale Heart activities such as Overthrow or from Micah's post-campaign quests. Overall, this fusion is a very strong weapon and definitely one that I would try out. If you have unlocked the crafting pattern already, let me know what you have crafted on it down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, a like and a sub would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you next time.